Hey there folks, I'm back. MPTCH is back with a new video. This time I'm going to be comparing Google Bard versus ChatGPT. Which one is bad for you? Which one is better? And which one is just overall smart? We'll be diving head first in this video. Let's go. So we have some questions that we're going to ask both Bard and ChatGPT. Now we first have to test their ability to guess the weather. So let's guess the weather. So Bard is actually able to get the weather. What about ChatGPT? And unfortunately, ChatGPT can't guess the weather. It doesn't have the ability to. Next question. A very typical ChatGPT response. Let's ask Bard. And he gives a very brief answer to that question. Actually, I can actually use this in an assignment. Like I can just, if they ask me if this is an assignment, I can just use this instead of this, because if you actually follow ChatGPT, usually give this exact amount of response. Small text, large list, and a conclusion. That's ChatGPT for you. Next question. And again, a very brief and understandable to read answer. Let's ask ChatGPT. I'm just going to be calling him GPT for now. And again, a typical GPT response. An intro text, large list, and a conclusion. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this answer at all. Now, let's ask it yet another question. So another readable answer by Bard, list, conclusion. It's just very predictable. If I was a teacher, I would definitely know that this person used ChatGPT. Now let's ask it something that you might actually ask it. Maybe to write a poem or write a song. That's what I'm going to ask to write a poem. And it did. The future. Ooh, fascinating. Now let's ask ChatGPT. And this time it actually asked me on what topic I should write. It asked me what topic so it can generate a poem based on that topic. And I think that is actually better. I mean, Bard just wrote something by himself. I guess it guessed the topic based on my previous questions that I've been firing it with, because I was saying language models and, just some type of futuristic questions. Now I asked it if it can answer my question in a different way. It actually picked the question that that was given to me, like the one that I previously asked it about language models. It used that as a reference and then spit it out in a different way, which was weird. Let's ask ChatGPT that. And when you look at that, ChatGPT actually used the previous question, which was the poem, and just rewrote in a different way. So the thing is, Bard actually didn't look at the asking for a poem as a question. It's more like a command. So if I'm talking with someone, I say, what is this? What is that? What is that? You answer that, right? It's a questions. But now I say, can you write this? Can you write that? It's basically like a command. I like to say a commanding question, but not actually a question. Well, it's a question, but not actually a question. I hope I'm not confusing you. So this one GPT just rewrote the poem, but Bard took the question and rewrote it. That is very interesting to see the intelligence in these two AIs. Now, provide more information about this. And he actually did provide more information, like 2 scrolls more of content. Let's add GPT. and it just explains Rick and Morty based on the topic, which is actually quite neat. So it just explained Rick and Morty, the whole plot and characters, how it's designed, everything. That is cool. More information on that? Can you explain that in simpler terms? And it did. Rick and Morty is a TV show that is like a mix of science and fiction and comedy. Yes, it is. So it's simpler. It explained it simpler than whole word text. Let's ask Bard. I'm guessing it's language models. And yeah, language models. And it's pretty similar to the one he gave us earlier. I'm guessing this is how Bard works. It actually spits out answers in the simplest of forms. Let's ask to give us more examples on that. And he did. Let's ask GPT to give us examples on Rick and Morty. And he actually did give us examples on Rick and Morty. Weird examples. He gave us an episode summary. Alright? Can't tell the weather, but I can tell. Okay, he can't tell real-time data, but Rick and Morty is already pre-recorded and uploaded, so I guess you can get information from that. What are the pros and cons of language models? Yeah, gave us the pros and cons. Nice. Now the pros and cons of Rick and Morty. This took a weird turn. Wow, look at that. What are your opinions on Rick and Morty? Now, it can't give personal opinions because it's just a computer program. You might not see me doing this, but I'm putting air quotes, even though it actually is a computer program. But let's ask ChatGPT, let's ask Bard, on language models, his opinion. And he actually gave his opinion. So this is how I look at it. ChatGPT will not give personal opinion based on things because he doesn't want to contradict himself of having consciousness, even though he's able to, write scripts, write poems, and give it to people. He doesn't want you to think that he's actually conscious enough to give opinions, maybe in a kind of legal rights issues. But Google's Bard, what it does is, I think it understands your question, understands the answer, and then give a summary of what it thinks his opinion of it is, and give it to you. I think that's how it works. Maybe. I think. Pretty sure that's how it works. So let's actually talk about the differences of these two. The pros and cons, or basically what differentiates the two, so you can better understand which one works for you. Bard is more of an assistant than ChatGPT. Of that, he's able to actually double check his response using Google search, which is actually an extension. Which I'm guessing if you're following Bard, you'll notice the recent updates, they actually added extensions. And we'll talk about that in a bit. You can actually see it double checked the response in Google search, and if it's colored green, it's accurate. If it's colored red, it's not. That means he double checked it and he actually said, yeah, in Google search, it's actually accurate what it's saying, so that you can be assured and say, okay, he's saying the right thing. And it actually shows you related topics on what you're asking it, which is cool. You can share it and upload it to Google Docs or draft it in Gmail, which is still part of those extensions I talked about earlier. So extensions is basically Google services with Bard. So you can ask it to help solve a problem with YouTube, locate information with Google Workspace, plan a visit with Google Flights, save the site with Google Hotels, tourist tricks, things like that. Just Google services intertwined with Bard, just like Google Assistant. So it works like that. The fun, also good thing about Bard is it's able to give you 3 drafts. When it spits out an answer based on your question, it actually shows it in 3 drafts. The reason why I love how it said drafts and not few other answers, the sentence, it's good it says draft. Like when you're trying to make a video and you're looking at it and say, this might not be good, then you leave it as a draft and I'll come back to it later. It emphasizes that he is assisting you. You're not supposed to take this on face value. It's assisting you. So these are actually drafts. So it gives you 3 drafts to look over and say, okay, all right, then you base it on what you're actually doing. Like I say, it writes a script for you. It gives you 3 drafts on the script. And you look at it and say, okay. Then you implement it on what you're actually doing. All right? And it's able to regenerate those drafts again, which is actually cool. ChatGPT doesn't let you do that. It also, with Google AI, so with Google AI, it's able to convert text to speech. I know that is not a new thing. It's basically Google's bread and butter. You can convert text to voice, and you can just let it read it out loud for you. Yeah, let's hear it. So that one's pretty cool. ChatGPT is just basically a very simplistic chatbot. Yeah, chatbot. That's just basically what it is. Google's Bard is an assistant. Is a Google assistant, if I might be saying so myself. I wonder if you actually rename Google Assistant to Google Bard, maybe? Nah, probably not. Just leave it at Google Assistant. So that is the take on Bard versus ChatGPT. If you have any questions, leave them in the chat below the like button, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Thanks for watching. I'm CDTCH signing out.